Hey everybody, I'm Dave Caldwell and I'm your PE 108 instructor at Clark College for the spring of 2017. And I wanted to give you a glimpse of kind of the behind the scenes work that I do for PE 108. And that is I'm your guide on the side. And more than that, I'm also your personal trainer for this class. But to get you started, there's some formality work that needs to be done, as you've seen in the week 1 module and the week 1 on your mark module. So you have the course orientation to complete, which is the first module on Canvas. And many of you are doing a wonderful job with that, completing all the course requirements, such as reading the syllabus, completing the orientation quiz, and also filling out the readiness questionnaire, and also completing the discussion forum. Once you've completed those, then you're going to complete a pre-exercise evaluation where you really want to start thinking about what your goals are for the quarter. And that, when I was thinking about, what I want to say in this video, I actually ran across a person yesterday at Lacamas Heritage Trail, and he told me of a quote that I'd heard long ago. And the quote is, if you want to run a mile. If you want to experience a different life, run a marathon. And to expand on that, the one that I'm reading, the quote online, it says, if you want to talk to God, run an ultra. And that was a tweet. And someone replied, if you want God to talk back, run an ultra in Texas in July. And as a runner myself, I could totally relate to that. It is insane to run a marathon. And that's not what I'm asking for you. I'm asking for you to complete a quarter of exercise. But I also would like to challenge you. So this is my personal challenge to each one of my students this quarter. I really want you to be ambitious with your goals. Oftentimes when we start, when even just upon enrollment in a health or PE class, our behaviors, or at least our awareness of our current behaviors and lifestyle, kind of come to the forefront with kind of the reality check of just how much we actually do. So when you're starting to create and develop your fitness plan for the quarter, I really want you to be conscious of, caloric expenditure and how hard you, and what I mean by that is how hard you're working. Oftentimes people will say that they are exercising, but in reality, they're walking the dog. And if you're walking your dog, that's a lot different than exercising. No matter what kind of dog you have, unless you're running that thing, there's really are no, I'll say, mirror image changes that are going to be made. If you really want to get after your goals this quarter and make bodily changes that you can see when you take a picture, a pre and a post picture, or you can kind of feel in your clothes and how they're fitting, then you're really going to have to work hard. And it's just like anything else. If you want to be a great musician, you're going to have to practice music on a daily basis. If you want to speak a foreign language, you have to immerse yourself into that foreign community and more than just a textbook. I know so many people who go to a fitness center, and they go to a fitness center for an hour, but they're stretching for 30 minutes and they're walking for 10. So that gives them 20 minutes of actual caloric expenditure. That's not enough. And if you are shooting for the stars, then you're going to have to act like it too. So my encouragement to you is talk to God, run the ultra. And what does your ultra look like? It could be anything. And I don't mean that in the literal sense of running an ultra, because an ultra is anything over 26.2 miles. That's called insane. My hope for you is that you set ambitious goals and you don't quit. You just keep swimming and just keep going after those things. And my goals that I set are different from yours. Personally, my goals wake me up. They scare the hell out of me if I don't complete them. And if I'm even thinking about not being able to complete them, I'm out the door. Years ago, I set an ambitious goal of running 3,000 miles. And in February of that year, so I'd only been a month and a half into it, I had run 248 miles in January, and I was about halfway through February, and I had to run about a 14-mile run that morning. And I sit up on the side of my bed, and the only person I had told about this was my wife. And I'm giving you the short story, trust me. But I told my wife what I wanted to do, and I'm sitting on kind of the edge of the bed in preparation. It's about 5:30 in the morning. And I'm sitting there, I'm debating on whether or not I want to go, and how driven was I. And I hear her say to me, with the lights still dark and the house cold, she says, give it up. It's too ambitious of a goal. Just come back to bed. And right then, I knew that goal, I was going to smash it in the teeth. And I stood up, grabbed my stuff, and I was out the door. I won't tell you exactly what I was thinking in my mind, but you get the idea. I just said that. So I was out the door. And I knew right then in the middle of February that I was going to accomplish that goal that year. And I think that was like in 2014 that happened. And that literally changed my life when I was told it was too ambitious. So what is too ambitious to you? And what scares you? And what wakes you up every day is that type of goal that I want you to set. And if that goal is different from exercise, if it's academic, if it's whatever it may be, I do want you to set a fitness goal for yourself that is ambitious, that does achieve results at some kind of level, even if it's just internally, like you want to get off type 2 diabetes medications, if you want to lessen the amount of hypertensive medications that you're taking, and you want to take ownership in your personal health and not rely on your physician to give you the pill for every ill. What is going to be your goal for the quarter? And that is really what will guide your fitness plan for this quarter as well. And with regards to your fitness plan, that is driven by your pre-assessment results. So what are you going to do for your pre-assessment? It doesn't have to be running. In fact, running is straight up miserable. So if you want to try it, give it a shot. But your plan is going to look different from my plan. And whatever your plan is going to look like, that's what you want to start, where you want to start with your pre-assessment. Do a pre-assessment, and then let that pre-assessment drive what your goals are going to be and your fitness plan is going to look like for the duration of the quarter, so that in 10 weeks, when we come back to do the post-assessment evaluation, you can really compare and contrast how far you've come. Just received an email, first day of the quarter, 2 days ago. My first email was from a former student of mine. I'll give you her first name. Her first name is Colleen, and she was in my PE 108 class last term. And this is what I woke up to. She says, "Good morning. Just wanted to update you and thank you for the information last term. When I started your class, I was around 185 pounds, and this morning I'm down to 149." And it all came back, and she said her next sentence is about the goals and just staying on course. And you know what? Your goals may not be weight driven, so you may not need to lose weight, but maybe you want to, improve circulatory health, cardiovascular health, improve a mile time, whatever it may be. I really want you to take ownership of your personal health, so I want to know what that's going to look like. Okay. In any case, that's probably enough for now. Every week I'm going to be sending out updates for our class. Those updates are centered around grading, and just letting you know that everything has typically been graded, and to make sure you're consistently checking your grade book to make sure that things are in alignment in accordance to the class, and making sure that you're going to pass and get your 2 credits or 1 credit. I will also say I made a few changes from last quarter to this quarter as far as grading. And so if you feel like you're reading some discrepancies between maybe what I'm saying on camera, maybe what is said in the syllabus versus what's said in a module, please just let me know, because I want to make sure I'm consistent and clear in every single module and document that you're reading, because I did make some changes between winter and spring. So I may have missed something. So if you feel like I may have, just send me a quick email and just say, hey, I noticed in module 1.8 or 2.4 or whatever it may be, that is different from this other link. So just let me know. The one that comes to mind is just how things are graded. If you miss any points, that is counted as a strike, and those points will typically be remaining missing. So you may just get a 9 out of 10 for that term, even though you got 100%, or that 9 out of 10 for an assignment. And I'm not going to change that, because that counts as a strike, and it's just much more easy for me to go through at the end of the quarter and see how many strikes. If you have 6 strikes, you fail. If you have 3, you pass. So that should be pretty easy. Even though you got a 90% on something, you still get a strike. And that something means that you turn something in late, or it's incomplete, or something like that. In any case, if anything doesn't make sense, please let me know. If you have any questions, remember that I'm not only your teacher, but I'm your personal trainer. So bring on the questions, man. If you have anything at all, that's where fun happens for me, is that kind of correspondence. I assure you that this is going to be my longest video message. I'm going to send you the link to that quote that I said earlier about if you want to change your life, run a marathon, because I think it's really funny, and the individual who said it is pretty inspirational. So yeah, hit me a reply if you have any questions. It's going to be a pleasure serving you this quarter. the weather is definitely better than it was last quarter, and I look forward to corresponding with you. Take care.